What's good, my people? It's your boy, Big Chris, aka the Compton Animator, and I'm here to give you people another review. Tonight we're reviewing WWE Survivor Series 2013, the fourth biggest pay-per-view of the year. And tell you the truth, it didn't too much feel like the fourth biggest pay-per-view of the year. Actually, it was like a 2 and 45-minute pay-per-view tonight. But with that said, there were some pretty good things that went on tonight and some not so good things. But you know how your boy is. I'm going to be fair and I'm going to give you a straight up pay-per-view. And I'm not going to just hark on one part just because other people, say, oh, it was bad and oh, whatever. And I'm going to be, truthful and give you a straight up, review of what's happened tonight. So, the show kicked off with the kickoff show. And let me straighten up a little bit here. There we go. And you basically had the guys, the Hall of Famers, Mick Foley, Booker T, and Bret Hart. They were doing the panel for the night, and they were doing pretty good. I didn't get a chance to see a lot of it because I came into the show a little late. I didn't even get a chance to really see a lot of the Miz and Kofi Kingston match. I have to watch it afterwards, but yeah, they were pretty okay. They knew what they were talking about. They're Hall of Famers, and I like it's three guys you can tell that still watch the brand, and they're still keeping up with everything. So yeah, that was pretty chill. As far as the kickoff match, the Miz versus Kofi Kingston, I caught this after Survivor Series, so it was kind of my main event technically because. I watched this last before I started recording this, and I would have to say Kofi Kingston and the Miz match was very interesting. They had a nice quick pace match at the beginning. They were going through a lot of counters and stuff like that, not hitting off anything. The start off of the match started with the Miz and Miz trying to give Kofi a handshake, and they decided to do a clean handshake between each other and start the match. And like I said, go through a gang of counters, nice quick pace, throwing Miz out of the ring and stuff. Miz doing a lot of moves on Kofi. So yeah, you had a real nice match, and it ended up with a roll up from the Miz on Kofi Kingston and the Miz winning. So. It was a really nice little match here and something nice to kick it off. The crowd was very into it. Both Miz and Kofi was playing nice characters here. And I think it did a lot to push them up as far as character-wise. And, to also show the company that, they're more than just these mid-card talents that, they've been put as. At the end, you saw Miz trying to go in for another handshake with Kofi, and Kofi ends up slapping him in the face. Just bam. So, and the Miz gave a nice reaction to that. So, that was pretty chill, and it was also pretty nice to watch that as my, main event, because I didn't get a chance to see it at the beginning of the show. So, yeah, it kind of, rested my mind for what happened in tonight's main event. So, the show kicks off with the Authority coming out and introducing everybody to the SummerSlam, to the Survivor Series. That's how how much I wish it was SummerSlam, as good as SummerSlam was. But coming to introduce everybody to the Survivor Series, basically telling us that tonight's main event will be no physical interferences, and that none of the matches will have any physical interferences. So you had all of that. And then he did the Are You Ready to get everybody pumped and stuff, and leading into tonight's first match, which is the Survivor Series match: Rey Mysterio, Usos, and the Rhodes Brothers versus the Shield and the Real Americans. A very nice match here. Your first elimination was Dean Ambrose. Then you had I think Jack Swagger get eliminated. Then you had who else got eliminated after that? Then you had I think Cesaro got eliminated after that, but just before Cesaro got eliminated, he did the big swing, the Cesaro swing on both Uso brothers. Plus, he was doing some nice setups on the other guys and stuff like that. The crowd was very hyped for this match. It was a lot of good chants going on here. People were hyped to see Rey Mysterio back, and they were hyped for the Shield as well. This was a very good match right here. After that, you end up Roman Reigns, when it was just Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in the ring. You ended up getting Roman Reigns just going on a rampage and eliminating a couple of dudes. Then he gets to eliminating I think Roman Reigns eliminates Seth Rollins eliminates I believe one of the Usos or Cody Rhodes. Hold on, because he gives a stomp to one of the guys' faces, and it was a pretty good stomp. Like like the little sidewalk stomp thing. I think they should actually call that like a History X because he does it really good. But yeah, I think he eliminates Cody Rhodes or something like that. But yeah, I was gonna say, oh, sorry, lost my place. But yeah, Roman Reigns was really beast in this match. He ends up being the last guy after Rollins gets eliminated, and he ends up eliminating Goldust and then pinning, doing a big slam on I think he did a spear on Rey Mysterio and then eliminates Rey Mysterio, ends up with the win. So yeah, Roman Reigns going over here and looks like he's getting a big push from this. So probably they're going to show him as the big guy in the Shield right now, and probably going to lead up to a breakup of the Shield. But I hope they stall this for a while. But this was a very good match right here and a nice way to kick off the show. After that, we got a backstage segment with Randy Orton coming into the authorities to the authorities office and basically telling them that they need to have his back and saying that basically saying the same stuff that he'd been saying for like off of Monday Night Raw. There is he invisible to them and stuff like that. But before he walked in there, I remember hearing Stephanie McMahon asking Triple H and them should they get the doctors out and stuff like that after tonight's match and stuff, and asking her what about after the match, should they get the doctors, and it sounded like they were setting something up for the later in the night. So that was an interesting thing that was going on, but it also coincides with my thoughts of the main event. So next we had Big E versus Curtis Axel, a rematch for the Intercontinental title belt, with that Big E won on Raw, and it was a pretty okay match here. Big E comes out with the win. It was a pretty quick match. I wish it would have got more time to set up more of a better match with these two guys, because I think they had a lot more time here in the show. The show only went for about 3 hours at max, but yeah, it was a pretty good stuff here. Biggie comes up to win, then he cuts his speech basically pandering to the Boston crowd. So yeah, that was an okay segment right there. Next, we got a segment I actually really liked a lot, was AJ Lee trying to hype up the rest of the divas, the non-total divas, and she was doing a very good heel job of basically putting them down, but also putting down the Total Divas even more, saying, the Total Divas don't want you to be a part of them and they don't care about you at all. So, help me out and be with me tonight. Caitlyn got some talking time, and so did Alicia Fox. And, the way things went down here was very well done, and I really liked this here. And it also got, once she ended it with, AJ Lee ended it with, basically the Total Divas don't care about you. It had the rest of the divas saying, basically, damn, she may be right, So I really liked that segment, and it went into the Survivor Series match with Natalya, Bellas, Funkadactyls, Eva Marie, JoJo versus AJ Lee, Tamina, Caitlyn, Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendez, Aksana, and Summer Rae. And this was a pretty okay match here. Some of the highlights from this match was Naomi had some really good moves here. What else? The Bellas did some nice stuff here. I mean, it was some okay moves here. It was a nice little spot where what's her name? Summer Rae was dancing, and she kind of had like a little dance battle with Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella does the worm, like doing the worm backwards, and then she ends up getting kicked and pinned. So yeah, it was a pretty okay Divas match right here. You even had JoJo, who got a lot of pop tonight. Like, people were really wanting to get her to get in the ring, and even though she got demolished by Tamina, it was nice to see that happen. The weird thing of the night, you had Michael Cole, like, it was down to like Tamina and AJ versus Nikki and Natalya, and after JoJo gets pinned, Michael Cole goes what he says. Oh, Natalya's the only one left and not eliminated, when clearly Nikki Bella wasn't eliminated either. So I don't know what Michael Cole was looking at right there. But yeah, it was an okay match here. You ended up getting Tamina eliminated, then AJ Lee gets pinned. Gets made to tap out by Natalya Sharpshooter. So it was basically what my prediction was that Natalya was probably going to end up being the last one standing here, and ended up being Nikki and Natalya. So I think the Total Divas needed this win because none of them have beat AJ yet, and having that right there kind of puts them forward to saying, okay, we may have something here. The worst part of this match was Eva Marie. She got in the ring. She looked horrible. She did like one move, and I think it was like a crossbody, and it looked horrible. JoJo was killing her. Like, JoJo barely did a few moves, and she did way better than Eva Marie did the whole time that she's been, going over here. So I hope they, stop dealing with this bullshit with Eva Marie and do more to put JoJo at a higher place right now. So yeah, like I said, Natalya and Nikki wins this, and I'm curious to see where they're going to go from here. Next, we had a backstage segment with Randy Orton, and he was talking to the referee Charles Robinson, trying to, get him to, help him out through the match, but not say help me in a match. Basically saying, I know you're going to do the right thing and call the match down the line and stuff like that to say, okay, you understand what I mean? And Charles Robinson basically goes, yeah, Randy Orton, I'm going to do it exactly what the authority wants me to do. So, he basically did that, and that was that. Then they went back to the Survivor Series panel, and they talked more about the stuff. And after that, Ryback comes out, interrupts them. No. They introduced the Survivor Series panel. Then Ryback comes out, interrupts them, and basically says that he's not a bully now. I don't know where they going with this. At SmackDown, he said he is a bully, and now he's saying he's not a bully, and he don't like people portraying him as that. And he can basically beat up anybody in the back, and he calls out anybody to come and to come and try him, basically. And we get a return of a bald Mark Henry. And what comes out to be a really nice match. A lot of story in the match going on, showing that Ryback is still really strong and he can pick up Mark Henry and stuff. And not only that, showing that Mark Henry is still there, and he may be an older dude, but he still has it. So, you had a lot of good stuff right there with that. You even got a crossbody from Mark Henry, a jumping crossbody from Mark Henry, so that was really nice. Ended up with Mark Henry winning with the what's the move name? With the World's Strongest Slam. I don't know why. Just fucking on that. But yeah, so Mark Henry gets the win here, beating Ryback, and another disappointing non-pay-per-view win for Ryback, but Mark Henry got the win. So tell you the truth, I can care less about Ryback nowadays. I was into him a little bit when he first started, but now he's just whatever. I heard he's having problems backstage with people, and a lot of people aren't liking him too much nowadays. So yeah. Next we had John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. They had a nice little promo to hype this match up. I didn't talk about the hype before the show, but I think I talked about it on my SmackDown review, so you can go there and see where I talk about the hype before the pay-per-view. But yeah, there's a couple of good things here as far as the hype up to the from what they showed in the hype to the John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio match. But the match itself, I have to say, was pretty good. John Cena showed some new moves in here, and also Alberto Del Rio got, was basically doing Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio is a good wrestler, and he has that luchador talent, so that means he can basically set up for anything. He can take any hit, and he can almost do any type of move. So, it was a lot of nice move sets done here. John Cena even showed some new moves with a tornado DDT and off the ropes and a couple other things. His neck breaker that he's been doing nowadays and stuff like that. And it was it had a nice length to this match. And, not a lot of nice things happen here. And you end up coming out with, what's his name? John Cena ends up getting the win here. The end of the match was a little anticlimactic. I would have liked for it to go on a little bit longer, probably at least about 2 or 3 more minutes, because I think that they could have stretched it out more and build it up more to, oh shit, who's going to win this? And had Alberto Del Rio really try to go for Cena's arm here and, really look like he was getting ready to break it. But, yeah, it was a really nice match. Just, the end was kind of to me. So, yeah, John Cena wins, as we knew he was going to retain the title here. And we go on to our next match, which is Daniel Bryan and CM Punk versus the Wyatts, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. And another really nice match here. Eric Harper. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan did a very good job here in telling, a story of two big guys versus these smaller guys. But Daniel Bryan and CM Punk also did a good job of being quick, never tiring, staying on top of these guys, and basically, coming out and, being the top level guys that they are and showing them that, you may be big and bad, but you're still going to have to be better than that to beat us. So, I really wanted the Wyatts to win here, but Daniel Bryan hasn't had a pay-per-view win in a couple of pay-per-views, I think. And also, the Wyatts still, you by them defeating the Punk and Bryan clean kind of shows that, Punk and Bryan are a little bit weaker than, they need to be, which is, I don't know if that was a good thing, especially in the fact that they wouldn't have Bray Wyatt in the ring as well. So I kind of came around to saying, oh yeah, I like the fact that Daniel Bryan and CM Punk won here once you think about it, and it actually makes sense for them to win here. And you can still have Bray Wyatt, who didn't get in the match, so that's the leader, that's the main guy, and you can say, oh, yeah, you beat my cronies, but you haven't beaten me. Yeah, you beat the henchmen, but you haven't beaten the big guy yet. So, yeah, I like to see where that leads to something with him. And hopefully, we either see another Wyatt guy coming in here so we can get a tag team match with Bray Wyatt and somebody else versus CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Or we can get a triple threat match, with Bray Wyatt taking on both of them guys. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, this was a pretty nice match here. Like I said, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk comes out with the win. And at the end of the match, you had Bray Wyatt stand on top, take off his hat, take off his shirt, and basically, pump himself up like he's getting ready to get in there. The crowd was very hyped to see him get in there. He basically says, nah, I'm not going to get in there right now. I'm going to wait. I'm not, I'm cerebral. I'm crazy. I'm going to do the right thing. So, he pumps the crowd up for, something that may happen at the next pay-per-view with Bray Wyatt and the rest of them guys. Probably we even may get a 3-on-2 match with them. So it got me interested to see what they do next. That's the one thing I can say about this match. So yeah, that was pretty chill. Next we had, I believe there was a backstage segment before this where CM Punk, CM Punk, what's his name? John Cena was in the back with the Authority, and he was getting his arm checked out, and Randy Orton goes back there, and he basically like, oh, what the fuck is Cena doing here? And shit, and he's looking at Cena, and Cena looking at him. Cena basically goes, you know what, fuck it, I'll leave. So Randy Orton basically says, do you guys have my back tonight? And they're still telling him, just go out there and do what you need to do and win. So we get Randy Orton versus The Big Show. Now, I have to say, this match was very quick. It didn't get the time that I thought it deserved. I wish it was a way longer match than it was. It felt real quick to me. I didn't check the time and see how long the match was, but it felt pretty quick. And it basically didn't end with a real interference, like a physical interference like they said, but it ended with the Authority coming out, and basically just by their mere presence, they distracted Big Show, and Big Show ends up getting the RKO put on him. One thing I can say about this match was that the crowd was hyped for Big Show at the beginning of the match, and they booed Orton at the beginning of the match, but once the match started going on, they never got the crowd back. And, even with the RKO and the punt that went on to Big Show, the crowd was still like, into this. And it ends with Randy Orton getting the pin and winning over the Big Show. I'll keep talking about it. After that, you had Randy Orton sharing in the ring, the Authority clapping him on. Then Cena's music plays, and he walks to the ring, holds up his belt. Randy Orton holds up his belt, and you get a stare down. Shit. Basically, my feelings towards this, it looks like they may go for the unification thing. As far as the match itself goes, the match was okay. It's not, for a Orton Big Show match, it was fine. Big Show was was being the big guy all through the match. Orton was kind of being a cowardly heel, and you had that type of thing going on. Sorry about that, but yeah, you had I'm sorry about that. Yeah, you had Big Show and Orton. They did an okay job here. What I would have liked to seen is, like I said, just more of a match between them two, more physicality between them, more brutality between them. Like I said, the ends with Randy. When I didn't say it, but the end with Randy Orton and John Cena. As far as that goes, I don't know how to feel about that because we've had Randy Orton and John Cena against each other so many times before. Even though we haven't had it, I think since 2009 or 2011, some shit like that. To be truthful, I don't want them to unify the belts, and I really don't want to see this match. I'm hoping to God that they do something to set this match up to where it won't happen. Because the way it's going right now, it looks like we may end up having Randy Orton versus John Cena unification match at TLC. And it's not really something I'm really interested to seeing at all. This main event here was kind of the thing that brought down the pay-per-view a whole point. Matter of fact, like a whole 2 points. Pay-per-view was going to be pretty above average. I thought the pay-per-view was pretty chill, like going through it. The only thing was that the main event wasn't looking too great, and a couple of the endings for these matches. Some of these matches were like, they didn't set up a few of the stories the way I like to wanted them to be set up. Not, I was saying I want my way to go into the matches, but at least something more interesting at the end of these matches. The John Cena match didn't really have anything to set up for future events, but I see what they're doing at the end, so that's why the Wyatt's match has something there, but I would have liked to seen a little bit more. I mean, this is a pay-per-view. Give us, something, because people are directly paying for this. So give us something a little bit more right there. I like the end with Roman Reigns. That was all you needed for that match. Just him being that big badass and then going doing that hoorah thing, at the end of his match was just enough for, them to do that. I would have liked to seen No, the Divas match was fine. They did the promo at the beginning, and the way it ended was okay. I would have liked to seen a little bit more from the IC title match. At least something with somebody coming to talk shit to Big E, and that it was just missing a lot of the story stuff that could have been added on to this pay-per-view as far as something leading into Raw. I think a lot of the big stuff should have happened here, and it also leads me to a conclusion that I've been coming to lately. I think WWE is starting to care less and less about these pay-per-views. Some people have been talking about how they may start their channel in some way up soon, so doing a WWE channel. To be truthful, what I see may happen, it may be a great idea for them, would be to start a subscription service where you pay like $15 or $8 or $7, $9 or $10 a month, and you get past WWE pay-per-views, the current WWE pay-per-views, and all that stuff, and you get all the extras, and you get to see the stuff that they usually put on Hulu onto there, and everything wrestling related and all that stuff, the movies and all that stuff. You pay a certain amount each month, and you get all of that stuff. Probably even Raws and SmackDowns, like Raws and SmackDown after their air, and you end up getting that plus the pay-per-views, and you pay this amount each month, and that'll probably get people into more people into watching, more people into subscribing, and I think they're leaning away from it just being generally okay, watch the pay-per-views, and that's where we're basically focusing on. Especially from the last few Raws and SmackDown, it seems like they're mostly focusing on Raw and SmackDown and building up their ratings there, and less on the pay-per-views. And to be truthful, the pay-per-views are a thing that's going away with history. Especially with the way the internet is going nowadays, you can see a lot of this stuff for free. Not saying that I watch it for free, not saying that I do or that I don't, but a lot of times you can see this stuff for free, and you know, I don't know. As far as this pay-per-view goes, I give it a straight C. I don't think it's the worst pay-per-view of the year at all. That goes to Battlegrounds. I think it's an improvement from Hell in a Cell. I think it's an improvement from Battlegrounds and Night of Champions. There were some good things that happened in this pay-per-view. It's just the story isn't going the way that we want it to. A lot of people want Daniel Bryan to be in the main events, and it's going back to this old, John Cena and Randy Orton thing, which is like, okay, yeah, we've seen that for the past several years. But with all that being said, if the WWE can make this interesting, I'm gonna be fine with it. If not, then we may have a problem. But until then, like I said, I give this pay-per-view, I give it a straight C. If you wanted to give it a number, like a 6.9. So yeah, that's my review for Survivor Series 2013. It was an okay pay-per-view. Come on, people. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't really. It was a little average, but it was okay. So yeah. You can find me anywhere on the internet at BigChris145 or Compton Animator. I have my Tumblr, my Twitter, and my webpage linked down there. I'm putting up more art on my Tumblr and stuff like that, and I'll be putting more art on my Facebook page, on my don't hit me up on Facebook, on my Tumblr page and stuff. So yeah, find me on the internet and like, comment, subscribe, and peace.